All right. All right. Back in the studio. Can someone please notify Dr. Raymond T. Williams that I am recording a podcast? He has been on my head because I skipped last weekend, and I just want him to know that I'm recording a new episode just for him. It's not just for him. It's for everybody, including me, but I want him to feel special. Gets his own little shout out on the podcast. I had a wonderful opportunity to spend some good quality time with Dr. Raymond last weekend, and I'll tell you about that when I talk about my visit to Resist Bookseller's grand opening, which was superb. But first, welcome to episode 47 of the Bookcast, my platform for sharing short fiction and updates on what I'm reading and writing. I am D.L. White, author of 11 contemporary Southern and romantic fiction novels featuring Black men and women. I'm also quite a big fan of books, so we talk about books on this podcast. It's what I do. We begin with the book report, and then we talk about writing and other stuff. I'm currently writing ELYSIUM, a Black Diamond vacation romance. So if you are new here or a seasoned listener, a bibliophile, or just looking for a good read, I hope you'll enjoy today's show. I am so happy to once again have your ears for this time, and I'm excited to share my love of reading and writing books with you. If you want to show your support for this podcast or for me as an author, you are so most welcome to do so. Please visit my support site at buymeacoffee.com/books-by-DL-White. You can there offer a one-time or recurring monthly gift. Benefits for supporting this podcast are very slowly loading. I'm working on a new routine where I offer the Tuesday teas to the subbies on Monday. So a full day ahead of when it shows up on my blog. And you'll see that right on the Buy Me a Coffee website. You actually get it in your email. But it's also on the website, and it's only visible for people who identify as a supporter. So if you have ever provided support for this podcast or you're a current subscriber, you get it on Monday. I am also creating a Discord chat where I hope to offer more insider perks like a monthly book chat, opportunity to ask a question to be answered during my weekly time with you, and more. I have one tier. It is $5 for a monthly show of support, and I'm ever so grateful in advance for all of your love and support for this podcast. The other way you can support is to buy books. Buy the books. Books-by-dlwhite.com/books has all of the good stuff, including Dinner at Sam's. This is book 2 in the Ruby's universe. I consider it more of a follow-up than a second book in the series. It's a follow-up or a second book in the series and not a true sequel to Ruby's, though you will see the ladies from Brunch at Ruby's show up in this book. Let me tell you about this book. Dinner at Sam's is, of the tropes, it's more of a forbidden cross-class romance. Let me tell you about this book. Vanessa Jackson is just trying to get her life together after her ex-husband abandoned her and their 2 young daughters. The last thing she needs is drama, but Warren Jackson won't let go of the stripper he rescued. All Vanessa wants is a divorce so she can move on, but Warren is determined to make it difficult. Enter Gibson Kincaid, the youngest and newest addition at prestigious Kincaid Family Law. Gibson has never done what his overbearing mother, Sylvia the Silver Shark, wants, and his rebellious nature may cost him his career. But when he meets Vanessa and takes on her divorce case, their professional relationship soon turns personal. As Vanessa and Gibson's passionate affair begins, Warren makes one last attempt to control Vanessa's life. Just when it seems Vanessa might finally gain her freedom, Gibson faces his toughest battle yet, convincing his mother to let him help the woman he loves. With Warren closing in and his mother trying to ruin his future, Gibson must fight with everything he has to grant Vanessa the divorce and the new life she deserves, with him by her side. This book is available in ebook, print, or audio at payhip.com/books-by-DL-White. But if you don't need it signed and you need it like ASAP, you can grab it from bookshop.org or at Resist Booksellers. They have, I believe, 6 of my titles in stock. And I did go in this past weekend and sign all of the stock that is available. So snatch it up now so you can get a signed copy from Resist Booksellers. They have super fast shipping. My titles are available in ebook, select titles in print and audio directly from me at payhip.com/booksbydlwhite. That's my personal store of the paperbacks that you buy at my store come from my personal inventory that I have here at the house. That puts monies directly into my pocket with virtually no middleman taking 30 to 70% of the retail price. You can also buy ebook and audio direct from me, and those are delivered via BookFunnel. Prefer to buy them retail. All my titles are available in ebook wherever ebooks are sold: Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Nook, Apple Books, Kobo Books, Google Play. They are also available via subscription sites like Scribd and Kobo Plus. They're also available to request at your local library via Libby or Hoopla. If you don't see them at your local library, request them. Libraries buy books. Thank you for indulging me for that spiel. Today we will start with the book report as always. Then we'll do a quick and dirty rundown of 2 author-centered events that I attended recently that I want to share. And finally, we'll talk about progress on ELYSIUM. And y'all, the getting is good right now on that book. Today is Friday, June 23rd. I'm recording a day early because Indie Love in the A is tomorrow. And I will be in these ATL streets, hugging necks and buying books. There are a lot of people I have never met in person, and I'm hoping to see their faces. So I'm recording early, and I'm going to record and edit tonight, and this will go up tomorrow at the usual time, usually between 11 and 12 o'clock. It is 2:08 p.m. It is a sunny day in Atlanta. I have a mic and I'm ready to dig in. But first, well, I don't have coffee because it's 2 p.m. I drank my coffee this morning, but I do have a cool, sparkling beverage. All right. I should say that like Matthew McConaughey. All right. That's my Matthew McConaughey impression. It's impressive, I know. We begin as always with the book report because I am a book head, and let me tell y'all, it's funny to me. It's funny. I've read 89 of my challenge to read 100 books this year. I was literally 42 books ahead on my challenge, and I said, this is stupid. This is just stupid. Just raise the challenge. You're clearly reading a lot of books. So I raised my challenge to 150 books. I am still 18 books ahead on my challenge, but can't stop, won't stop. I want to say it'll slow down, but it won't. There are too many good books coming. I've been catching up on my indie authors, and I'm reading any vacation romances or long distance or online romances I can get my hands on while I'm writing this book. So I want to say it'll slow down, but it will not, because like every day, my favorite librarian, Robin, posts like 19 books that I'm pretty sure I need to read or I will die. So we'll see where I end up at the end of the year. I'll probably slide in right at 150, which is fine because I will probably slow down like around the fall. I usually hit a wall like in September. And then it picks back up toward the end of the year because all the holiday books start coming out. Picking up from 2 weeks ago, I have read 6 books in the books. On the list are Yours, which is in the Kingstown series by author Sean. She's an independently published author. This was really good. It was a novella. It is very steamy, very sexy. Really enjoyed it. I like her writing a lot. Loving State of Mind by Micah Edwards was also another short. I believe she wrote it for some specific purpose. It was super short, like maybe 20 pages. Date for the Mayor by Aubrey Penn. Y'all know I'm a big Aubrey Penn fan. This was really good. I really, really enjoyed this novel. Then I read A Right-Worthy Woman by Ruth P. Watson, which was a historical fiction. It was all right. I enjoy historical fiction, particularly those that are based on real people. This one just, the writing didn't grab me. It was very dry. I think I gave it around 3 stars. It was all right. I also read Rooted in Love, a Sweet Rapids novel by Tay Russ. It is good to see Tay back in these self-pub streets. It's been a minute. I feel like she released a book like a few months ago, but like me, Tay goes long, like months between not recording, but writing and releasing books. So it always feels like it's been forever. It's probably only been a few months, but we are not rapid releasers in these streets. So it is good to see Tay back out. This was a good read, also a really good read. And then I read Rich Waters, which is in the Jason Rich series. It's book number 2 in the Jason Rich series by Robert Bailey. I am really enjoying Robert Bailey. I said something very controversial yesterday, which may be of interest to my good friend, Dr. Raymond T. Williams, because he likes to pick on me because I enjoy John Grisham novels. I am unashamed. I'm quite proud. I'm an unabashed fan of John Grisham. Whether the book is good or not, if it's a Grisham book, I'm going to read it. I'm going to at least start it. I really did not like The Boys from Biloxi. It was long, drawn out. Could have been like, I don't know, 200 pages shorter. I don't know. I don't know how long that book was. I did not finish it. But it's a Grisham. I have to at least start it. I feel like Robert Bailey might be coming for John Grisham in my hierarchy of legal thriller authors. And that's saying a lot because it's just getting to a point where if Robert Bailey published a book, I'm going to read it. He's also up there with Robert Dugoni. The Roberts, they are vying for John Grisham's spot in my legal thriller favorites. And I am encouraging this cage match with my whole heart. Rich Waters was really good. This book does end in a cliffhanger. I don't care because I don't mind cliffhangers. But the next book doesn't come out till May, and I feel like that's wrong. Let's not pretend that I am not going to go ahead and try to get an advanced reader copy and then put off reading it until right before the book comes out. I just want to have it in my hands. You know, I want to have it in hand. It was really, really good. I was up super late last night because I was just like, I want to be done with it. Let's just finish it. I had 2 to 3 chapters and I'm just going to stay up and finish this novel. So I was up till after midnight. I am normally into bed at 8. So I stayed up super late. So what am I reading? I still have Mules and Men on the list, which we are reading with the Black Reader Experience. Haven't started it. It's a very short novel. I really should just go ahead and get it done, but I haven't because new books are very shiny. Also still reading The Edge of Dawn by Miss Beverly Jenkins. I'm staging a protest because this is not a historical novel. It's a contemporary. And I really like the historicals a lot. And I just wasn't ready for this one to not be historical. And so I have not finished it yet. But I'm like 50% in. I'm going to finish it. I am going to finish it. I'm going to do it. Then I'm also reading Sisterhood Heals, which is a nonfiction novel by Dr. Joy Harden Bradford. She is the host of Therapy for Black Girls, which is a nearly never miss podcast. I only miss it if they're talking like pop culture or shows I don't watch. Like they were all about Insecure and what's that? The new Fresh Prince, and I don't watch them, so I don't care. But if they are talking about like therapy topics, I'm all over it. I don't miss this podcast. I'm very excited that Dr. Bradford is releasing her first book. So I'm excited to get this one and support. I'm focusing on getting this one read so I can review it on or before publication day. The next book on the list, on the ARC list, is The Baby Swap That Bound Them. This is a Harlequin. I don't know what line it's from, but by Hannah Sheikh. It's Sheik. I'm going to assume that's Sheikh. I don't know if I'm going to get to this one. It looks like a short read, so I may try to squeeze it in, but probably not by pub day at some point next week. I will have this one read and reviewed. And then Murder is a Piece of Cake by Valerie Burns looks really good. I super enjoyed book 1 in this series, mostly for the Mastiff. That's kind of a main character in this novel. It is a cozy, which aren't my favorite, but if it's a cozy written by a Black person, I do try to give it a chance. I am enjoying this series, but I may wait for audio on this one. Usually it's up like same day. If I have a credit from Libro.fm, I might use it. I don't think I have any Audible credits waiting, and sometimes it takes a minute for it to get out to Scribd. So we'll see. I may wait on audio for that one just to give me time to read Sisterhood Heals, to dig into Mules and Men, and finish Edge of Dawn. The Baby Swap is probably not going to be released in audio. Harlequin doesn't do much audio for their releases, so that's going to be a page read, or I will have Siri read that one to me. I'm also participating in the Blog Blitz tour for my friend Delaney Diamond. She has released her Quicksand series ebook box set. Look for a post on my blog this week to promote that series. There's going to be a giveaway tied to this Blitz, so stay woke. Keep those eyes peeled. But if you need that box set now, head to DelaneyDiamond.com, scroll to the books, and choose the Quicksand series in the drop down. It's available via her online store and at major retailers. So snatch that up and enjoy. In other news, I want to wish a happy belated birthday to my friend Sharon C. Cooper. Sharon always has something awesome in the wings, so keep your eye on the Coming Soon tab on her website at SharonCCooper.net and join her newsletter because we're always the first to hear about new releases and free books. I know she has a giveaway going, and that's not linked anywhere except for her newsletter, so get on that newsletter list. Want to get on that if you are interested in her work. Her Atlanta's Finest series is awesome. Also, her Jenkins Family series is great too. And she has some fun rom-coms through, I think, Berkeley. In It to Win It was good. I forget the name of the other. I should have really looked these up. But she has 3 really fun rom-coms that are out. You want to snatch those up right away. Happy birthday, Sharon. Okay, switching to appearances. So last weekend, I participated in the Resist Booksellers grand opening. It was such a good time. It was like a really good time. I'm so impressed with the retail space. It's a beautiful store, gorgeous colors that pop. The staff just was smiling all day, so helpful and attentive. Signings all day. I got to meet Jamila Minix, Rob Youngblood. Who was I sitting next to? I was sitting next to Lamar Giles. I also got a chance to meet Chelsea Lockhart in person and Danielle Allen in person. So that was tons of fun. Had a really good time. I'm going to say Richmond, Virginia, Petersburg in particular, owes me a good time. I got into town on Thursday. Super quick rundown. I got into town on Thursday. Checked into my hotel room. The system already wasn't working well, so I didn't get my room on the 5th floor like I wanted, but whatever, it was on the 4th floor. I had dinner with Danielle Allen, which was super fun. Always love talking shop and meeting authors in person. So that was great. Friday, I kind of hung out. I got in some reading and some writing. Then I went to grab lunch super quick at the Wendy's just right across the way. And I wanted to be well rested for the book signing. So I was like, let me get some lunch. I'm going to chill. I'm going to write. I'm going to read. Got all like set up. And then like the skies got really dark. And I was like, oh, it's going to rain. Oh, this is going to be awesome. So I'm like kind of all snuggled up and I got my drink and my chicken nuggets and whatnot. And it started raining. And then it started storming. And then the wind like completely kicked up and it was like visibility 0. Nothing. I could not see anything out of the windows. That wind and the rain was furious. It was a furious, severe thunderstorm. It was hailing, it was windy, it was raining, and the lights are flashing. And I'm like, oh, the lights aren't going to go out. It's a hotel. The lights went out in the hotel. No power in the room. So I'm like, okay, maybe it'll pop on like an hour later. An hour later, still no lights. This was like maybe 3:00. An hour later, still no lights. 2 hours later, still no lights, no power. So I called down to the front desk. I mean, the front desk has power. I'm like, hey, do you know when the power's going to come on? She's like, oh, probably not anytime soon. It's out, like the whole county is out. Like all this whole entire area is out. And I'm like, oh crap. That sounds like we're going to be out for a minute. And so I texted Demetrius to see if the bookstore had power. Because if the bookstore ain't got no power, it's gonna be rough. But the bookstore had power, and it was kind of interesting because like it blocks all around the bookstore lost power, but this single like half block that the bookstore was on had power. Super interesting, like miraculous. So I'm sitting up in my room. I am like just like reading and doing nothing, and got a message from Demetrius. He's like, we're down in the lobby. The lobby has power. I'm down here with Raymond. I am willing to, move you if you want to move to a different hotel. There's a hotel out up in Richmond that has power, whatever you want to do. And I said, let me come downstairs. So drag all my stuff down there. I can like power, plug in stuff and power up my devices. So I at least have an alarm in the morning in case power doesn't come on, because they estimated that power would be back around 9:00. A newsflash, it was not. So I head downstairs. Demetrius is down there with his mom, his sister, and Raymond. We're like kind of sitting around, chatting, having a good time. Demetrius took off so he could be ready for the bookstore opening. He's like, hey, the bookstore has power. So we're still on. Hung out in the lobby a little bit with Raymond while all of our stuff charged, and tried to get some dinner, but every place is out. So couldn't get anything delivered really. We grabbed some snacks from the front desk, which kind of saved our lives because like there's literally nothing. I mean, there was nowhere to go, no lights, nothing. The whole entire area was out. The only lights visible was a police car that was directing traffic. So no lights all night. I woke up Saturday morning to no lights, no power. Started, getting ready. Couldn't see in the bathroom. I was like, putting my hair up in a bun because there is not anything I can do with this. With no lights, no power. Went downstairs. The only power they had available was in the lobby. And because they were on emergency power, they couldn't draw a lot of power away from what was available. And the lights were taking all of the power. Elevator was working. Lights were working. Front desk was working. They could like check people in. But nothing in the rooms had power. So they had the toaster out, your jams, your jellies, peanut butter. So we could have like bagels, toast, fruit, whatnot. No coffee. So we left early, went on over to the book signing, met up with Demetrius, and they were kind of getting set up. Raymond and I walked over so I could get some coffee. It was very important in my life to have coffee. The day started around 10 o'clock. There was a huge accident, so that was delaying people. But we started up around 10 o'clock, had the grand opening, head over to the Resist Booksellers site or their Instagram. I think they have some videos of the beautiful rendition of the Star Spangled Banner and the Black National Anthem. Both really great. And then the day got started. So I had just a really, really wonderful day, just all day, just joy. I signed my books. I signed books, I think around 11, not 11, at 1 o'clock. And then I did a little 15-minute interview on the Instagram channel. Got the chance to laugh and hug people and meet tons of people. It was just such a great time. And there's just nothing like a bookstore full of people. They're just people in and out like all day. That register was going all day. I bought a lot of books. I want to say like 4 or 5 books. And I bought 3 books. I bought Chelsea's book. I bought The Cask, which is my favorite from Danielle Allen, and she gave me a copy of her newest release, Insta Love. And I bought Jamila Minnick's Moonrise over New Jessup. Got the chance to meet her. Absolutely wonderful. I just had a really, really good time. Saturday night, got back to our room, back to our hotel. The power was back. Praise, praise. Got some dinner ordered, and I was exhausted. I had been on my feet all day, running around, all the adrenaline from the bookstore opening. kind of went back to my room, settled in. Sunday, I spent chilling, reading, writing, just had a great day, went to bed. I packed, thank goodness, because I woke up Monday morning ready to like just chill until checkout time and then get on my flight at 1 o'clock. I would get home around 2:30. It would be awesome. Nope. Woke up to a message from Delta that my flight had been canceled. And they rebooked me on a 7:55 p.m. flight, which, if you know me, that's not going to work. I don't like an evening flight. I don't like a Sunday flight because it's too busy. I don't like an evening flight because I can't handle getting home at 10 o'clock. So I had to get up, hop on my iPad, and try to find an earlier flight. Rebooked myself on a flight that would get me home at the same time, but I had a layover in New York, so I had to fly from Richmond to LaGuardia and then a straight shot back down to Atlanta. Oh, good gracious. I got home around 4 o'clock. That was an ordeal. I'm going to say Richmond, Virginia owes me a good time. So hop on back to Atlanta. I am on the internet like maybe Monday night, Tuesday night. I think it was Tuesday night. I saw something pop up from Acapella Books. Thomas Mullen was going to be at the Wrecking Bar Brew Pub, which is in like, I don't know what area of town they call it, like Little 5 Points area in Atlanta, with the one and only S.A. Cosby, Blacktop Wasteland, Razorblade Tears, All the Sinners Bleed, My Darkest Prayer, and then he wrote another a YA book with Questlove. He was going to be in conversation in person on Thursday, so I hopped right on the internet and bought, if you pre-order the book, you got a reserved seat, and so I pre-ordered a book so I could get a signed book. So I did that last night, and that was just glorious. It was perfect. If you ever get the chance to see S.A. Cosby in person, go. He's so like insightful and talks about like all the meaning that he ties into his books, down to what he names his characters and what jobs he gives them, and where he sets his books. Really so insightful and intelligent, and like he is a wonderful person. Super warm, very open. Really enjoyed that. Also really enjoyed Thomas Mullen's. His book, Darktown, was about the first Black police officers on the Atlanta Police Department. And then the follow-up to that is Midnight Atlanta, which is the second book in that series. He had a new release out in April called Blind Spots, which is kind of pandemic adjacent, if I may. And then he has another book coming out sometime next year, April or May. So super excited about meeting him. I bought a lot of books. Apologies to my debit card. I got a signed copy of Razorblade Tears, My Darkest Prayer, Blacktop Wasteland, and All the Sinners Bleed. Very excited about that. And then I also got a signed copy of Midnight Atlanta. I wanted a copy of Darktown, but Acapella Books had sold out of it. I'm going to have to roll up there and see if I can at some point get a signed copy. It won't be the last time I see Thomas Mullen. He lives in Atlanta. So the next time he's doing an author talk, I hopefully, fingers crossed, he will have copies of Darktown. I would love to get a signed copy of that. Both books are excellent. I always suggest, if you're going to read Darktown, which is, again, about the first Black police officers on the Atlanta police force, you should also read Coptown by Karen Slaughter, which is about the first female officers on the Atlanta police force. Super enjoy both novels. Highly recommend them both. So I think that's enough yammering about where I went and what I did in the last couple of weeks. On to the writing update. I am at 49,000 words. 49,000 words. Remember when I was writing a novella? I mean, it could still be a novella if it was under 50,000 words. It's still at a novella at this point, but I am not done writing. I'm at chapter 19, chapter 18, chapter 19. 65,000 words is kind of my goal. I want to try to fit within that parameter. I'll probably come in somewhere between 50 and 55,000 words. That's 65 is my stretch goal. Also, a stretch goal is to be done by September. I'm just saying early September so my brain doesn't freak out and shut down on me. I'm just saying that's a stretch goal. I'm hopefully, prayerfully, I will wrap it up in July. But I plan to write until I'm done, no matter how long it is, no matter how long it takes me. I would always rather cut than add words. So I'm just writing, even if it ends up being 80,000 and I cut 20,000 and I use 20,000 for bonus content, we'll take it. Writing right now, my couples are having a grand time on the island of Black Diamond. They're having a great time. I'm writing the last scenes of the vacation. I think I have 1 to 2 scenes, and then Athena returns home, and things will be in sort of a limbo between Vance and Athena. They both have decisions to make that will impact what steps they take next. They are both at the beginning of the next chapter in their lives. Vance just turned 49. Athena just turned 46. Both are well in their careers. They both have adult children. They both have relationships that are long since ended. And they're kind of ready to enter the next chapter of their lives with another person. Well, really with or without another person, but it sure would be nice to have somebody to start that next chapter with. I am kind of writing this precipice for both of them where they both have to decide what they're going to do next. And their relationship has a whole lot to do with what comes next for them. I'm really enjoying writing this novel, and I see the light at the end of the tunnel, which is the only reason I can start sharing teases and that kind of thing. I usually don't start sharing teases and sample Sundays until I start seeing that light. I don't know if I'm going to start doing sample Sundays because I am currently doing the Tuesday teas, which has been nice. I don't want to overload and I don't want to share too much. I want the teas to be just enough to whet the appetite. I'm no longer worried about what the sample is going to look like because I read a few books lately that begin with some cheek clapping. So I am not so nervous about what that sample is going to look like. There's a book that I did not mention in my wrap up, and it didn't show up in my Google, not my Google, but my Goodreads list. Sharon C. Cooper wrote one of those books for the Bays of Juneteenth series, and I am looking it up because I most certainly read that, and I gotta fix my books read because it didn't show up. I most certainly read that book by Sharon C. Cooper called Mr. One and Only. I'm gonna, when I do the show notes, this book will be included in that, but I didn't for some reason get it into my update. Mr. One and Only by Sharon C. Cooper. Now I need to go back and make sure that I got all of my books read in my wrap up. Skipping a week really messed me up because I don't know where I left off. I believe that's the only one that I missed. So I did get that one read and I really enjoyed that one. I would recommend that one over all of the books in the Bays of Juneteenth series. Really, really enjoyed that one. Yes, I'm playing favorites, but anyway, I was saying that I did read a few books that begin with cheek clapping. So I'm not so nervous about that. I've had some time to think about it and chill out about it. I just want it to be good. I want it to make sense, to be relatable, to create an escape for my reader, and to tell a compelling story. That's what I look for when I'm reading a novel, and I want that experience for my readers as well. I'm in this weird thing where I almost never look forward to writing. So when I actually look forward to writing and I want to write, that means I'm really getting it good. So I'm going to try to write a little bit tonight. Also get in some reading. Tomorrow I am at Indie Love, but I'm only planning to stay until about 1 o'clock and then heading back here to write and get in the books. Sunday, I have brunch with one of my friends from the DM's Diamonds group. So that'll be super fun. And then back here to get into these books, either reading them or writing them. So I have a full weekend. Technically, my weekend started last night. I have a very bookish weekend. I am super excited. Already transferred some money to my spending account so that I can buy books tomorrow. Thinking through my list, and I am looking through my little rundown to make sure I don't leave anything out. I think we are good. So, just adding Sharon's book to my list. We're doing it live, people. Okay. I believe that brings us to the end of today's episode. 40 minutes of me yammering about stuff. Thank you for joining me for another episode of the Bookcast. It's been a wonderful time. I will be back next week with a reading update and a writing update. Please enjoy this weekend. Have a superlative week, and we will chat again next weekend.